Let's go to the moon, baby! What is happening, investors? It is your boy Jack. I am not a financial advisor. I got the hoodie to prove that fact. And today we're speaking about Virgin Galactic Stock. We haven't spoken about them in a little while, and there's a few things I want to cover today. The first thing is that monthly price action, or actually if I zoom out a little bit further to the 6 month, from the 24th of September. Boom! We were up 44.66%, peaked out at $23 a share. I believe there was actually intraday highs of $24 a share. As of right now, boom! We've dropped 25-ish% in value. We are back down to levels of $17.42 a share. Now, if you've been around on this channel for a little while, you will be aware that I like Virgin Galactic stock. I am invested. I've said for a little while on the channel now, I like them below 17 and I love them below 15. And we are very close to those levels. So in today's video, there's a few things I want to speak about. Of course, it's the price action. I also want to give you guys my price targets and what market conditions I need to personally see in order for me to want to buy more of this company. Because let's keep in mind, it's highly speculative. It's a big growth stock. And as you can see on this 6 month chart, it's very volatile. I want to speak a little bit about this. October 22nd, a date all Virgin Galactic investors will be aware of when the window opened up for Virgin Galactic to run the next FCC approved flight. I want to speak about what actually happened. I want to speak about some of these filings, some Form 4s that have come out in regards to buying or selling or not. And I also want to speak a little bit about the short volume and the short interest in this company as of right now. So guys, right before we get into the video, can I please ask you to hit that juicy like button for a juicy Virgin Galactic video. If you're new around here, please consider hitting that lovely looking red subscribe button, my friends. And drop me a comment down below. I'm interested. How do you feel about Virgin Galactic? Are you an investor? Are you on the sidelines? Is it too volatile? Is space too scary? Just let me know. With that being said, let me make myself a little bit smaller and let's get into the video. So we'll come back to the price action a little bit later, but this is where I want to begin the video. Now obviously it's just one article from the Motley Fool, why Virgin Galactic stock just dropped 5%. Now this was actually published a few days ago. But what I want to speak about is the FCC approved test flight. And if we actually go over to Virgin Galactic's Twitter, we can see some videos of this in action. There it is. Let me turn the volume off. But boom. It is flying. The VMS Eve completed a number of test points today as preparations continue for our next space flight, published the October 29th. And there's another video right here. Today's test flight for the VMS Eve is now complete and the mothership is back at Spaceport America, New Mexico. So, all went well, but it wasn't what we were expecting as investors. So investors have been watching for news that Virgin Galactic had moved a step closer to commercial operations. That is literally what we're all waiting for. That is why we are invested in this company, and that is also partially why I would consider it to be high risk, highly speculative, because we're investing before this catalyst happens, okay? And commercial scale revenue growth. Obviously, they need to make money. But when news of a flight test finally did come yesterday, it was not what we had hoped for. So this is all the way back from October 28th. Instead of flying VSS Unity to space, which is obviously what we were all hoping for, Virgin Galactic announced yesterday the successful flight test only of the VMS Eve mothership, aircraft that will be used to carry VSS Unity to altitude and release it to blast into space. Now, this is still good. You know, it's still positive. It still all went well, but it's not what we were expecting. So I do believe this could, to an extent, have somewhat led to this sell-off, but not really. When you look at the fact, you know, since we actually found out about this, nothing has really happened. I do think this sell-off we've seen recently is just Virgin Galactic being Virgin Galactic during already bearish market sentiment. The entire market selling off. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. Today, Monday, is looking like an okay day, but we all know how the last 2 weeks have gone. Everything has been going down. The S&P 500 is down over 8% from its recent peaks. So funnily enough, I don't actually think this is really anything to do with the sell-off. Now, we could also argue, if we go back here and we go to the 22nd of October, it's sold off 15.97% since then because we didn't really get the news we wanted. But I think this is just the broader market, my friends. But look at this, okay? It's not all bad news, though. In announcing VMS Eve's successful takeoff and landing, Virgin Galactic did mention that it still plans to conduct its next test spaceflight later this fall. Fall ends on December 20th, so hopefully by the end of the year. So even in the very worst scenario, investors should only have to wait another 50-ish days to see VSS Unity fly again. And that's what we're all really going to be hoping for now. And guys, I've been saying this about Virgin Galactic for months and months on the channel. They have a history of pushing back their timelines, and that is, in my opinion, part of why they are so volatile. They get us investors excited. They get people buying in, and then they don't deliver. And they sell. So that's why this always has been to me a very long-term investment. And it's also why I have not really been rushed into buying this company ever. You know, I'm willing to take my time with this company because of just how volatile it has been. And with that being said, I want to go on to the monthly chart and the 6 month chart, okay? So I initially bought, I think it was somewhere back here. It may have even been more than 6 months ago at this stage. And I was buying in the 14s and 15s, I believe. So, you know, I was here. We went on this massive run to the upside, over $25. It was beautiful. I remember everybody was so excited. And boom, we crashed down massively. And only recently did we really begin to recover. Before, boom, crashing back down massively. So during this whole period of somewhat consolidation here, I had the same price targets. I said I like this company below 17. I was buying below 17 and I love them below 15. That still stands for me on the monthly chart. Now that does not necessarily mean that, you know, if we hit below 17, if we're in the 16s, I'm going to buy. It just means I would consider. But there is more to it than just that. There is something that needs to happen for me to buy pretty much any stock right now, unless I think it's disgustingly undervalued. And that's market sentiment needs to change, okay? There is so much uncertainty in the market right now. I'm speaking the US election in particular. I know we like to throw the Roni in there as well, but I'm really speaking the US election right here. I need to see what happens tomorrow, Wednesday, even Thursday and Friday. I need to see what happens this week. Are people going to start buying stocks again? Or are we going to continue to sell off? Because until I see the market sentiment begin to somewhat turn bullish, until we see some really positive news, I don't think it matters how good a company is doing. They're going to continue to drop. So under normal market circumstances, Virgin Galactic to me is good below 17 and great below 15, but we're not in normal market circumstances. And that's important to remember. As well, I do already have a position in these guys. It's considerable. I think it's in my top 5 biggest holdings as it is. So of course, I'm going to be more inclined to try to get in at a really nice price. So it's going to be closer to the 15 mark than the 17 for me personally. But from a long-term point of view, does it really matter that much if you do believe in the company? As I've already said a couple of times, short-term, anything can happen here. Absolutely anything. It's crazy. It's extreme volatility. But long term, if they do the things they've set out to do, and if they are successful, I don't think it matters if you buy at 15 or 17 ultimately. Next thing I want to speak about, I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but you can see 3 Form 4s came out October 27th. What is a Form 4? A statement of changes in beneficial ownership. Now all 3 of these essentially say the exact same thing, and I want to explain this to you. So we can see here the name and address of reporting person. Palermo Enrico, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say that name, I'm sorry my friend, he's the CEO and president. We can see here, okay, common stock, the 25th of October, code A, he received 229,171 shares of the stock and proceeded to sell 12,032. Why would he get that many and sell so few? Look, just scroll down a little for me. Explanation of responses. 1. Represents an award of restricted stock units, okay? This was compensation. This was given to him by Virgin Galactic, the company, okay? So that's the 229,000 shares. Now what about the 12,000? That red number that nobody wants to see. Represents the number of shares of common stock withheld by the issuer to cover the reporting person's tax withholding obligation. So they were obliged to sell this many shares immediately. So this here is neither insider buying nor insider selling. And you will remember I just said that there was 3 of these. They are all the exact same thing. There was no buying or selling done. This is just compensation by the company themselves. So I mean, nothing really to worry about here at all. It seems like a lot of shares. That's a lot of compensation. But I did just want to point it out because I've already had 1 or 2 people ask me about it in my DMs. It's nothing, you know, it's in my opinion neither good nor bad for the company. It's just neutral. Next thing I want to speak about is some of the short volume and short volume ratios for this company right now, okay? 27th of October, we had a 6 million day. That is really low volume. The last 3 days have all been in the 8 millions, okay? If I just bring you back 19th, 20th, 21st of October, 17 million, 25 million, 21 million. It's been relatively low volume as of late. The short volume ratio in general has been hovering somewhere between, you know, 26 up to 30 or so. It's been similar the last few days. It had a peak of 34.1 the 23rd of October. So quite a few shorts in here. Now if I actually bring you over to Yahoo Finance, we can see here the short percentage of the float as of October 14th was 90.6%. Wow. Now the short percentage of shares outstanding as of October 14th was at 19.29%. But still, a lot of short interest here, guys, which could lead to the short squeeze word. Everybody loves throwing this around when we speak about growth stocks. I'm going to be completely honest here. I am a bull. I don't see a short squeeze happening. I know there's a massive outstanding short, but I don't think we're going to be running up in value anytime soon. In fact, I see more red in our short-term future. Again, unless the entire market sentiment turns around sometime very soon. And I'm fine with that. In fact, I'm hoping for more red because I do want to buy some more of these guys sub $15. it's in my best interest. But also, my friends, if you do go back and look at, you know, a decent history of Virgin Galactic short interest, there's always been a lot, and that is, in my opinion, why we see so much volatility, and that is why we may see short squeezes. But ultimately, look, the shorts can take control again, and I think that's going to be fair to say until some real news comes out. Ultimately, until Richard Branson goes to space, which I know they've said they expect it to happen the first quarter of next year. I'd be happy if it happens next year. You know, I think the first half next year would be fantastic, but if it happens any stage next year, I'll be very happy. You know, I really don't expect it the first quarter, which again is not a good thing because that's what they have been promising us investors, but they've pushed things back so much in the past, my friends. I just don't really see it happening, sadly. Now, aside from that, guys, not too much more new news. I do like making updates on this company because I know a lot of people are interested, and I know we see these massive price swings, but nothing has changed for me. It's still the exact same. I still have my same price targets. Now, I know people are going to ask me for where would I sell, or when do I think they're going to be $50 a share, or do I ever think they're going to be a 10x or a 100x company? And guys, I don't really set those kind of price targets. I do set entry points, but not necessarily where I want to take profit. You see, this is to me a long-term investment. It's very difficult to put an estimate on where these guys will be in 10 years. It really is. So many things could go right, so many things could go wrong. I know there are analysts covering how much the space commercialization industry, the space commercial travel industry could be within 10 years, but who knows? This is unknown territory for absolutely everybody, your everyday investor and analysts alike. This is space we're speaking about, my friends, and it's one particular aspect of space, you know, commercializing space flight. It's not a momentous, you know what I mean? It's nothing to do with satellites. This is a brand new market that right now does not exist. So I'm not setting price targets. I'm not going to sell if I make 100%. I'm not going to sell if I make 25% in a week. You know, that's not where I am with Virgin Galactic, and that's important to understand. I know I say I'm long term on these guys, but what does that mean? Does that mean a year? Does that mean 200%? No, it more than likely means 10 plus years. And I also do understand that this is high risk, my friends, and I always say this with these high risk companies. If you can't handle looking at a 6-month chart like this, if you can't handle these swings, more than likely you're going to sell low, you're going to buy back in high when you see the hype happen. It probably isn't for you, but if you're like me, and you know, you can be patient, you don't panic buy in, you don't panic sell out, I do think there's a good chance you're going to make some money, as long as you're willing to, you know, sit on some red for a while every now and again. So guys, that's my Virgin Galactic update. I don't think much more needs to be said than that. I won't waffle on and waste any of your time. If you enjoyed the video, took some value and entertainment, please do consider hitting that like button, drop me a comment down below, and subscribing if you're new. All of that means the world to me, my friends. Anyway, my friends, thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day. I will see you for another one soon. Peace.